Hey guys, it's time for my epic comparison. It's going to be against the iPhone, new iPhone from Apple that just released, the Apple iPhone 4S, and versus the Samsung Galaxy S2 that I just ordered in a store. It's probably going to be where I am like tomorrow or the next day or something. But I should already start off by saying that I'm pretty disappointed in what Apple released, and already made a little quick rant about that. But let's just go over a versus comparison and really see what's up here. So we have the Apple iPhone 4S, 2G network, 3G network, it's all the same on the S2 as well. But here's some interesting things here. Okay, so the Samsung Galaxy S2, the i9100, it was released in April 2011 this year. Now this phone was released October the 14th this year. It's like 6 months. Not really sure, but it's a very long time, and they have like almost the same things. So shouldn't really Apple have worked some more on this device? Yeah, and here we see the dimensions. They're also very interesting. 9.3 millimeters in thickness. Now the Samsung Galaxy S2 have 8.5, so it's almost like, yeah, it's bad. It's bad iPhone. And also the weight, 116 grams. 140 grams. Now I know that there are probably some people that think it feels nice and everything, but that's just bull crap. You want a thin device. I mean, it's a device that doesn't really feel that much when you're holding it in your hands and stuff. And then we got the display. Now here's one thing I gotta say: the resolution is obviously bigger, but we should remember it's a smaller screen, 3.5. So that they have a higher resolution, that's kind of obvious, because they can't do a high resolution one on 4.3 inch screen that Tesla guys this to have, because they suck at it and they don't like big screens. But with the 3.5 inch screen, you got the 640 x 960, 330 ppi pixels per inch, compared to the 4.3 inch 48 x 800 Gorilla Glass display here. The Samsung is using 217 ppi, but you should remember that when it goes over like 300 ppi, your eyes can't really like see the difference. So yeah, but TouchWiz UI 4.0, obviously. We have the accelerometer, the gyro sensor, the proximity sensor, some kind of cool things, but I think yeah, they have like the same shit, you know, gyroscope sensor, proximity sensor, touch sensitive sensor. So yeah, so Apple or Galaxy S2 is winning here on when it was wearable, and it's winning here in the size. So what else? Okay, the display, Apple was better, but they have a smaller screen, something you should remember. So I mean, if Xiaomi would have a 3.5 inch display as well, then they would also like have this high resolution with high ppi. So I would call it even here on the display. Vibration and the sound, basically have vibration and MP3 ringtones, loudspeaker, 3.5mm jack on the iPhone 4S. But with the Samsung Galaxy S2, you get wave ringtones as well. Maybe not some people care about that, but yeah, they win on this as well. And what else do we have? Phone books, call records, unlimited, obviously. Internal, this is also very interesting. 16, 32GB storage and 1GB RAM. Now, we don't know about the RAM yet in this iPhone 4S, but I really do hope that it's 1GB, because, or you know, they will suck if they don't. But you get different sizes. They have finally increased it to a 64GB version in storage, so I mean that's still pretty good. But what you should remember is on the Galaxy S2 you can have a micro SD card as well, so you can have that up to 32GB, so you can have the same amount that Apple have with their 64GB version. So that is kind of sweet. Let's see here, data, class 12. I don't think people care that much about the G powers, and Edge should be kind of the same. H3G, HSDPA, 21 megabits per second, HSUPA, 5.7. Yeah, they suck here. It's even worse. HSDPA only 14.4, HSUPA 5.8, a little better. Wi-Fi should be the same. Wi-Fi direct, Wi-Fi hotspot, and Wi-Fi 812. Doesn't really seem like to have Wi-Fi direct and DLNA. Okay, that sucks. Then we have one thing that Apple's better on. Yes, they have the latest Bluetooth 4.0, but really, what are you gonna do with that? But still, they're better on that thing, but they don't have faster like 3G speeds. Infrared port, no one have that. Yeah, USB, Xiaomi use a micro USB 2.0, And let's see here, Apple use 2.0 as well. Now the camera is something that Apple finally, they updated as well. 8 megapixel, same here with the Sammy, same resolution, autofocus LED flash, 1080 recording 30 frames per second. But there's one very interesting thing. On the front facing camera, Apple only have like a VGA camera, while the Samsung have a 2 megapixel camera. So I think that's better, Sammy. So Sammy win here as well. Android, that's what Sammy's running version 2.3. And the dual-core 1.2 GHz ARM Cortex A9 processor with the Mali 400MP GPU, which the Exynos chipset, but there's also another one called Snapdragon, but I think the Exynos is faster. But I think they're running the same CPU, like the dual-core Cortex A9, but the Galaxy S2 is a little high clocked. And then we have the Power VR SGX 543MP2 GPU that you get also like on the iPad 2, and they did a benchmarking test, and the iPad 2 did really like crush the Galaxy S2, but you should remember it's a bigger screen and could have some a little more powerful stuff in that, but yeah, it did crush it kind of. So it's going to be to see a comparison between the iPhone 4S and the Galaxy S2 in that. What else? Do we have something interesting? Yeah, the Java sound, you should remember that you don't get like flash. So if you're buying the Samsung Galaxy S2 and browse via the web, then you can just go to YouTube, a video, and click on it, and you won't be opening up in a new window or something. It's so awesome. But this is kind of funny, and also the standby time. This is hilarious. 200 hours on 2G and 2 hours on 3G on the iPhone 4S. They had 300 hours on iPhone 4. Now they only have 200, and they also made it battery worse. I think I can't see that information here, but 200 hours on 2G and 3G. Galaxy S2, you get 710 on 2G and 610 on 3G. Now that's insane. Talk time 18 hours 2G. Let's see here, 14 hours only. And then 8 hours on 3G. That's kind of the same. Let's see here. Yeah, 8 hours and 40 minutes. So Galaxy S2 is a little better there. But seriously, this phone is probably going to be more expensive than if you buy the Galaxy S2. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. So my quick little comparison, what do you think? I think clearly, Samsung Galaxy S2 is the winner, and that they released it like in April. So you can just imagine what they're working on right now, and how far ahead they are of Apple. That Apple is, oh my god, they really did kill it with that screen, 3.5. They should really have made it bigger, and possibly make it like a bigger or better form factor when you're holding it. I don't think really that iPhone is so nice to hold and stuff like that. But seriously, 3.5-inch screen, that's pretty goddamn sucky. And that you only could release like the same things that the Samsung Galaxy S2 or Sammy released in April. That does suck. And yeah. See.